Okay, our next step on this is creating a combo box form field on page 399 for those of you following along. Combo box is a type of list in which users can click to open a drop-down menu of options. An example of a type menu is at the bottom of the buttons and form panel. You can define a list of options that will appear in a menu, and users will be able to make a single choice from that list. A perfect example for using this, and you'll see it happen quite frequently, is a form field used for states, and it has all 50 states on it, and you get to pick your state out of the list. So that's an example of something similar to this. We are not going to be making one quite that large though, so do not fear. That's not what we are going to be doing. Okay, so while we have our brochure InDesign open, we're going to select the frame to the right of How Did You Learn? So let's go ahead and minimize the buttons and forms a minute, and we're going to select the frame to the right of How Did You Learn About CAC? Okay, then we are going to choose in our buttons and forms list combo box. And as soon as I open the combo box form, we're going to go into the name field and call it source. And then what we are going to do is we are going to go down to where it says list items. And the first list item field that we are going to type is direct mail, and then hit the plus button. Okay, and then the second item we're putting in is city employee, and hit plus. And social media, and hit plus. And email, and hit plus. And friends/family, and hit plus. And then we're going to check the sort items box, which is right above it, which now put that all in alphabetical order. And then we're going to go back in list items and type the word select one with 3 dots, and hit plus. And then we are going to uncheck sort items. We're going to select one, and we're then going to drag it up to the top. Now, why we want to drag this up to the top, it's not letting me. Hold on, let me see if I can figure out what I'm doing wrong. Oh, I have to undo sort items. Undo sort items and then drag it up to the top. You'll see a black line, and you want it above city employees. And the reason that we're doing that is we want that item to be at the top when they have the option of being able to select it. Once we've done that, we're going to do a Control S and save our work. Now the next one that we are going to be working is on page 400, created checkbox form fields. A checkbox is similar to a radio button. Users can turn it on or off to select an option or not. If a checkbox is part of a group, however, users can typically select one or more options, unlike radio button groups, which allow only one choice. So this is the type of thing. The next one that we're doing, you could have a whole bunch of different boxes and give a user an option of being able to check as many of those boxes as you want. In this case, we only have two boxes. But it works along the same line. So keep that in mind and know that these can be used with more than two, even though two is all we are going to be doing. We are going to next select the empty frame to the left of email label. So let me close the buttons and forms for a second. It's this little box next to email, and I want to select it. And I can see it selected by the boxes around it. And then I am going to open up my buttons and forms again. And I am going to type, the type is going to be checkbox. Okay, and then I'm going to name it send email. And at the bottom of the panel, select normal off. So at the bottom, let's see, normal off, like so, which means it's going to normally be off and they're going to have to check it to make it turn on. Okay, so that's going to be the default. Okay, repeat the process to create the second checkbox named Send Mail. So we're going to click on the second one. Okay, and it's also going to be a checkbox, so I will choose checkbox in the list. And then I'm going for the label to call it USPS, which stands for Post Office, for those of you who don't know. I'm also going to make it a normal off, which means they're going to have to check it. And then I'm going to do a Control S to save my work. Okay, that pretty much makes our whole form interactive, but there's still something that we need to add to this in order for it to work, and that's our form control buttons, and that's our next step. So we are starting now on page 401, create form control buttons. The final piece of this form is a set of buttons that allows the user to clear or submit the form. You can use built-in tools to create and program buttons to accomplish this task, and so that's what we're going to do next. So let's once again open our forms and buttons, and what we're going to do this time is we're going up to the hamburger on the far right top hand corner and click on it, and we want the sample buttons. We want to choose sample buttons and forms. What that does is it opens up a dialog box that has all sorts of interesting choices of what we can use for buttons and forms, and we're going to create kind of an interesting button for our submit and reset buttons. So we're going to scroll down and we're going to find button labeled 124. And this is button 124, and I'm going to drag it out to, I'm going to close this a second, out to the edge and down kind of like so. And you can see that we now have it down below. And in the buttons and forms panel, so let's open up our buttons and forms panel. We're going to call this button by name Submit. And at the bottom of the panel, we are going to uncheck the printable options because this is not something we're using for printing. And while the object is still selected on the page, okay, we're going to open the event menu in the panel. Hold on, I need to find that. Let me pause for just a Okay, the event menu is up at the top underneath the submit. Oops, I didn't capitalize submit. So, okay, capitalize submit. And on the event menu, you'll see that we've got on release or tap, and we are on that one, but if you click the down arrow, you'll see on click, on rollover, on roll off, and all sorts of stuff, but we want the on release or tap. And by selecting the existing action from the list, Okay, what we need to do next is, you notice it says go to URL. We do not want that, so we're going to click this minus key to delete that selected action and click OK. And then we are going to add a new action, so you're going to click the plus button to add a new action to open the menu, and we are going to click on Submit Form. So on release tap is now for submit form, and we're going to click away from the button right here, and then we're going to click it again to select it. And with the normal state of the button selected, we're going to go to the layers panel. So let's go up to our layers panel and expand the submit group. So we'll go find our submit group. Where are you? There you are. Okay, and we're going to click the down arrow and open up the nested group underneath. And in the layers panel, click to select the top right rectangle in the normal group. So I'm going to select it, make sure it's blue. And then once it's blue, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and change the fill color and to the Pantone 8663. So I'm going to highlight this up in the very top in my panel and change to the beautiful Pantone 8663C, and take a look at your button. It looks pretty cool. Now my next step is to go over and grab my type tool, and then while I'm going to click inside of it right here, and I'm going to type the word submit. And then I'm going to highlight it. And my next step is to open up my text frames option, which is Control B. And in the text frame option dialog box, what I need to do is center vertical alignment. So where is that? Hang on a second and I will find. Okay, it looks like it is towards the bottom of the box somewhere. Let's check options, different options here. Oh, here it is. Right now it shows top, and we're going to change it to centered vertical, center. Okay. I'm not seeing center vertical, I'm seeing center. Okay, that's what we are supposed to do for the moment. And then we are going to press Control to temporarily access the selection tool and click to select the frame. Oh, I guess got to click OK. Click to select the frame. And then we are going to select rollover state in the buttons and forms page. So let's go and see if we can find rollover, which I did. Okay, I'm not liking the fact that it's not centered, so I'm going to center it. There we go. Just use your center, align center from it at top, and that centers it. Okay, and we want to change the the text color to, I think, hold on, I think that I missed a step here and I want to double check, so I'm going to pause you for a second. Okay, I did. what I forgot was the paragraph style. So let's go open paragraph styles. Let's go to Window, Styles, Paragraph Styles, and I was supposed to change it to button text. So I will click button text, and there it changed it. I also need to make sure and roll over. Okay, we need to change it to the same fill color. So we're going to go up and choose the Pantone on rollover. Whoops, that I didn't want to do that one. I will leave that the gray. And then for fill is what we want, that pretty color. And then I'm also going to have to type the text again. So we will go grab our text tool on rollover and type submit. And highlight it, and we're going to center and center. That's not the center we want, but we'll figure it out. I think what we have to do is hold down Alt Control or Control and click the edge. There we go. And on rollover, okay, one thing I want to do is definitely go back up to paragraph style. So I'm going to go up and open Window, down to styles, paragraph styles again, and change it to button text, which changes the color differently on the rollover. And now how do I get that down? How did I get that centered before? Oh, Control B. That's right. And move it to center. There we go. Okay, and once we have all of that done, then let's hold down Control and click away from it again. And in the buttons panel, click normal state to make sure it is the active state. So we'll go back down and open our buttons. Oh, got to be selected on it. So hold down the Control and be selected on it. Make sure the normal is the active state. Now what we need to do is make a second button, and the second button is going to be our reset button. So the easiest way to do that is to hold down the, let's see, I think we Alt drag. So we're going to close this for a second, and we're going to go on our selection tool and hold down the Alt key and select it once. What you want to do is you want to be able to see the double arrows. Okay, once I see double arrows, that means I can make a duplicate of the one that I've built already. So I'm going to drag it over to the left, like so. And I'm selected on it. Now I'm going to go to the buttons. And this one I am going to call Reset in the button box. Okay, and then in the submit form, I'm going to minus submit form and do a new action, and this one is going to say reset. If I can find, oh, clear form is what it's called, but reset is what we're going to put on the button. Now on normal, I'm going to need to go back on the text tool and highlight it while it's on normal and put in reset. Okay, then I'm going to click back on it again and go on rollover and go get my text tool again and type reset. Oops. And hit enter. Okay, so now I have both the submit and the reset button, and I'm going to do a Control S to save my work. The last step, which doesn't take very long, that we are going to do for this today is we're going to export it as an interactive PDF on page 405. So with this completed now, I'm going to go up to File and down to Export. And this I'm going to export as an interactive PDF. So the first thing I'm going to do is in the bottom drop-down box is choose Adobe PDF Interactive. Okay, and change the file name to digital, not print. So type in digital. Okay, so I have brochure digital, Adobe PDF interactive. Now I can hit the save button, which is going to open up a dialog box. And in the export to interactive PDF dialog box under type, okay, what I want to do is do range 1 through 4, not all pages. So I'm going to go 1-4. And I am going to choose export as pages. And I am going to choose fit page in view. And I'm going to uncheck the open in full screen mode. I'm going to check view after exporting option. Mine is already checked. I'm going to make sure to include all make sure included all is selected in the forms and media, and make sure the following choices in compression are checked. So we're going to click on compression next. We're going to choose automatic from the compression menu. We're going to choose and make sure that the resolution is 72 dpi, and then we're going to click export. And in the resulting dialog box, it says read the resulting warning. It says the document is using CMYK blend splice. Colors are converted to RGB and interactive PDF files. To avoid color changes, click cancel. Choose document RGB from the edit transparent blend. Anyway, we're clicking OK. So go ahead and click OK. And it starts exporting everything. And there is your new Adobe Acrobat interactive form. If you scroll down, you will see indeed all of the things that we put into this are all now showing as active. So we can close the PDF now, and let's do a Control S to save our work.